What does that mean? We will look into it.
Tune to the bottom line Liberia 24/7.
This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. Your spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
Yes, indeed, you're welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia. This is the program that brings you the information and discuss it from top to bottom. We do discuss with respect, factual, and reliable information. We want to say welcome this evening, beautiful Tuesday evening, the 9th of the 7th month, which is July 2024, not 1994. Oh no, 2024. But let me say welcome to you guys, Francis Mono Mensa, all the way there from Sweden, and then our colleague Albert Moe. And this is a European-based platform, but we have extended to the United States. Albert is from the United States. So Albert, we say welcome to you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine.
Good. As you can see, Albert is on wheels, and so but he'll be with us, and we ask that he just be attentive what he's doing, and we'll be here for a very short time because we have some technical issues tonight. However, we can't let our viewers down. That's why we decided to come. But guys, quickly, without wasting any time, we've been having a lot of things in Liberia of late, especially when it comes to government operations, where the president and his government have announced the acquisition, of some yellow machines, or commonly called yellow machines, but they are earth-moving equipment of different types, different sizes, and whatever. But the public is concerned. In fact, the number of yellow machines is too huge, 285 of them, reportedly. And then we understand that 24 of those machines have arrived in Liberia. They are on the grounds presently. But the public has been concerned about how this acquisition came about. Where did the government get the money from to buy these machines? Where are they being transported from to Liberia? Nobody knows. So it's been like something secret. I don't know whether the government wants to take people by surprise. But again, being our government that we elected, Liberian people elected, we need to know every step of the way when the government is transacting anything. So I think the people are also right when they are concerned. But guys, what have each of you heard about the yellow machines of late? I heard that 24 of them are in the town already.
Yeah, that Albert, go ahead. Go ahead.
The way you're laughing, you're looking at you hear something, I hear you.
I heard similar thing that some of the yellow machines are in town. Some people say some others came for another group. I know for a company or for the government. Everything not too clear. But the general concern here, we are wondering how the national government is functioning in Liberia, because a government, look at the government like a company. If a company decides to purchase, equipment, and they are in the process now to do it, the top bride or the executive of the company sit down and discuss what they're going to get, how beneficial it's going to be, how they're going to pay for it. They will know the history of the equipment, where it's being used, how long one can use it for, how long it takes to be completed. So all of that go to management meeting to convince the board of directors why the machines should be purchased. They will tell them how good, how effective they are before the company finally go ahead to purchase. Now, we have a government. Under democracy, the government is by the people and for the people. The people place it structure into power to guide and lead our nation. So we want why is it that the executive and the legislature are not discussing about the yellow machine? What contract is this on? Who is paying for it, or who gonna pay for it? Where have been used, in which country? How effective they are? When the contract was signed, are we like renting them, or they are being purchased by our money? We really want to know, but these are not being discussed at the national. So yeah, we are. We want to know.
Okay. Francis, you just heard. We want to know. I think, and this is why Liberians are asking. Everybody wants to know.
Yeah, I mean, there's similar concerns all around. The procurement of those yellow machines, the excavators, it's raising a lot of eyebrows around town. We talk about the PPC, the procurement. What you call it, process.
The PPCC.
Yeah, PPCC process. The horse legislature should do some ratification or some approval or whatever it is, but yeah, we still yet to know where the funds came from for that. And we look forward to hearing what are the details behind that. What are the devil in the details of that, of the whole procurement of the yellow machines. Yeah, I think we all share similar concerns.
Okay. By way of information to our viewers or whoever, we people, especially the closing, the borderland Liberia is not against the purchase of those machines, the bringing in of those machines in the country. No, nobody's against it. We are all for it. But the question is, those things cannot just arrive from the blue and land on the ground. God is not creating those things. So we can say, well, God bless all with it. It just came from the blue and they landed on the ground. They may have come from somewhere. As we all know, even the computers and internet that we're using, somebody made it. And before you can have it, you must buy it. So for 285 pieces of earth-moving equipment, that's small thing. That somebody can get it and say, my man, Paul, take the one, carry to your house. For those things to arrive on our soil, everybody will be concerned. Even if the government says that somebody give it to them free, we'll be concerned about why the government like us so much that we'll just give all the kind of thing. Paul, welcome. Your yellow machines for Liberia, they say 24 pieces have come, and there are 285 of them. So if 24 pieces have come, so I think we'll be left with 261 of it, probably, or 251 or 61. I don't know. What say you? And people are concerned. Where are these things coming from?
Good evening, gentlemen. It's good to be back, and good evening to our listening audience as well. This is concerning Linford. The question is, everyone is asking, although when those yellow machines were paraded then around Monrovia, people were jubilating. But the question is, we know that the UP government is the most experienced government. They've been in government for 12 years. And President Boima, who has served for over 50 years in government, should know better. How can you purchase something that does not go through legislature? How does it appear? We know our constitution say you should not receive gift up to $250, And now, all of a sudden, yellow machine appear. No, the legislature have no clue. The citizens have no information or where this is coming from. So it's something that is very concerning. They took loan to get a yellow machine? That's question. Have they sold one of our mountains in Liberia, Wologisi Mountain? That's another question. Who is the person behind the yellow machine? No clue. Now, the speculation all over the place, the lawmakers themselves are confused. So we don't know. Is there a new dictatorship that is in place in Liberia? It's no longer democracy. That is the question. I mean, this government should know better. So it's all concerning to everyone else. Well, we know that the country is already more than $2 billion in debt. Have they took they took another loan to add off for our great grandchildren to pay back? There's so many questions to be answered. So for experienced government to do this is concerning. I don't know where the country is going, where it's heading.
Okay. Paul doesn't know where the country is heading, and so it's me, and so it's the rest of the guys here, or most Liberians. But there is a newspaper footage here where even lawmakers, because when these things happen, people also blame the other branches of government, like the legislative branch and then the judiciary. But it seems as though the executive took this action unilaterally. They did not consult with the legislature, and Senator Amara Konneh of Bapuru comes out to describe the whole deal as lack of accountability in government. That's why the headline here says the yellow machines backlash. So Senator Amara Konneh has described this thing as lack of accountability in government. And remember that Senator Amara Konneh is the chairman on accountability in government. I think his committee is called something like that, PAC. Okay, so if he comes and says that this is lack of accountability on government, what does that say? Does that say that the government, that the executive just took this action unilaterally? Because it seems as though that if the chairman on accountability, on public accountability, is saying this, that there's no accountability in government, it means that the legislature does not know about this. And so Senator Konneh is calling on his fellow lawmakers to all demand clear understanding from the deals behind these machines. And another account says that these machines rather come to the country as well as signature fees for the operations of the Wologisi Mountain. I don't know how do these two tie in? Where we just wake up one day, we see 285 yellow machine owned by government, and then somebody saying, now, no, somebody wants to operate one of your mountains, your foraging mountains, and so that's just the signature fee. It's like, okay, just for me to sign that I'll operate this mountain, take this one, take 285 yellow machines. So, and the senator is saying that there is no accountability. That means the government is not giving an account. So what do we say? Is the government operating alone? Is the executive operating alone? What's going on?
Let me come in there, Brian, for
Yeah.
What Senator Konneh said, no accountability. I think it is we can say no accountability. It is an introduction of a system of no accountability, or the imposition of the system of no accountability. Because we just saw yesterday that the other administration wasn't accountable. So how come now a government being headed by a man who once served 12 years under the Nobel Prize winner The person that was described as a good leader in Africa took over the leadership of our country, and he's not respecting the law, even the organ of the state. He doesn't want to tell the legislators that Liberia is going into a contract of these machines to come and fix our road. Nothing. The executive wants to discuss with the legislature. So where are we going? So it's an introduction of a system of no accountability. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I will do what I can do. You do what you can do. So if this is the case, the Liberian people need to come up, because the government of the Republic of Liberia was placed in there by the people. And we got 3 branches of the Liberian government. Normally, people interpret as 3 equal branches, but that's wrong. The executive branch is accountable to the legislature, because that's the branch with the power that change the leadership of the executive. So how will you say they are equal? Of course, the judiciary also above the executive. Like the Supreme Court for a prohibition on the occupation of the tender position, and told the executive that all they were doing were wrong. So here we go. For the executive branch of government or the president to go into a contract with 285 units or yellow machine. Economically, nobody know the value, nobody know the cost, whether we rent it, whether we directly purchase these things, whether they have trained the manpower to operate those machines. What are the contracts? We wrote that the state are considered that 1, 2, 3, these roads will be fixed from this period to that period. We are fixing the road from Plymouth to this. We are doing this. And we only see machines coming. We tell a mountain is being sold, and almost 2 months now we've been talking this thing, and the legislature is sitting down, not taking action, not representing the Liberian people's interest, but they're just watching probably to get yellow envelope, as it was done during the previous regime, where the president said in a vice president, because I always saw, in fact, this whole criminal salary structure that is being imposed on the Liberian nation, for a senator to get $15,000, or legislators get $15,000, gas, $2,500 for gas. And nobody drive to work in Monrovia or in Liberia. Nobody drive 3 miles to work, or 10 miles. They put it out, they put it to 10. For you to get 500 gallons of gasoline at the rate of $5 per gallon, at $2,500 United States, plus salary. So the lawmaker need to come up. If no clarity is coming from the executive to tell us what the deal is, they need to stop it. They need to stop the entry of the machine into the country. They have the power to order the head of the security and the armed forces to stop it. Because if there is an instruct coming from the executive, that's the last option. So they can sit down so
In fact, what the executive did is to the 24 pieces of the machines in the country now. They drove it to the barracks for the army to guide it. So they already got the army under their control in that respect. But the most important point right here now is the senators are now telling us, because we are thinking that the senators, knew about it or they're not doing anything, but now they are saying that Amara Konneh is calling all his fellow lawmakers. And remember that Amara Konneh, Senator Konneh, is the head of the committee on accountability. So now he's calling on his fellow lawmakers to come. So Paul does this, or Francis does this, tell us that the lawmakers don't know anything about this thing at all.
Look, I don't know why you place emphasis on Amara Konneh. Senator Konneh knows he's the chairman of the accountability committee or whatever it is. Look, the fact remains that all the senators are concerned, regardless of what position you have in the Senate. They are collectively concerned. My point I have to allocate with these guys a little bit is on the point where you say President Boca with 40 years or 50 years experience as president being in government is not, it does not give it does not signify that they shouldn't make mistakes. I think these are mistakes along the way they are made from the initial stage. It's very hard to correct it now. So I think the government should be planning or is planning a way out of that to mitigate the whole situation. But 50 years, 100 years in government still made mistake along the line. So I just want to point that out. And I was talking about the legislatures who honor the army. The army falls under the executive. The president of Republic of Liberia is the commander in chief. So he can override. He can override any command from the legislature. So my take on the whole thing is that we shouldn't be. We should try to gravitate to something else. We have spoken about it. Everybody concerned. We know the procedure, the processes were wrong. The government needs to come out to tell us where they got the money from and how the machines will be financed. It's simple as that. As everybody concerned. The legislators have the same concern. The ordinary people have the same concern. The police have the same concern. The judiciary have the same concern.
Yeah, but when you try to, say that the government is making mistake regardless of the experience the president has in government. 40 years is not small, man. Even if you are a novice and you make mistakes, there are certain mistakes that you can make, and people say, "Oh yeah, the guy you're learning on the job." But 42 years or over 40 years experience. That's enough.
In our very lives you live, you still make mistakes.
Yeah, but you can't make you can't make mistake with something. You can't come up mistake with something that you know well. You know that you have to take the food from the fire to eat it.
These things happen.
Let me chime in here.
Yeah, chime in quickly.
We are left government. We heard about the Eton and Imoba deal, where Unity Party went after George Weah. So that one, George Weah was inexperienced, and they repeat the same thing that George Weah did. So what's the mistake here? Somebody who have experience for over 40 years in government, being closer to presidency, vice president, that he knows the rules. He was the president of the Senate. He understood the whole thing. That even $250 gift, if you don't declare it, is impeachable. So,
but if the gift did not come to the president, why would you say the president? Did he say if the gift of the president?
I give an example here. So if you say that common mistake, this one is not a common mistake. It's something that they are aware of. if you go and negotiate on behalf of the country and bring in something that the legislature is not aware of, it's not mistake. What the motive behind it? When George Weah went for the Ito and Immobile deal, it was a very united party that was reminding George Weah, no, this is wrong. So the thing you reminded somebody about and then you decide to repeat the same thing is no mistake. There's some motive behind it. And if the legislature push hard, this is impeachable offense in the Constitution of Liberia, and that's the fact. It's not common mistake. You can make silly mistake, but not the kind of major mistake. So you can differ, but it is the fact.
Okay. We can talk this for as long as we want to. We're not.
How about whenever they say something?
Yeah, but let me just inform our public that while we are doing the show, the game between France, the UEFA League is going on. France is trailing by 2-1. Spain is leading, and all three of the goals came just in the first half. The first half they stay on, and but both teams are playing. We'll keep you abreast of the games as we continue on the discussions here on the bottom line Liberia. So if you're watching the show, you don't need to say, "Oh, let me go look for the game to play." Yeah, continue. We'll give you update as we move on. Oh, okay, but there is something else that I want us to talk about, and it has to do with this yellow machine thing. Now, Finance Minister, our new Finance Minister, Boima Kamara, is reportedly or has reportedly sent his resignation. And some people say he was dismissed, but some people say he resigned. But whatever the case, people are saying, or the headline you see on your screen there is so small, so I'll read it for you. It says, Kamara's opposition to shady yellow machines deal behind imminent dismissal. Only exit package remains outstanding. Now, in other words, he has been dismissed, or he will eminently, the word eminent mean it will happen. It's supposed to happen. Okay, he has been dismissed, or he will be dismissed. And then the only thing remaining now is for them to settle him the way we can say in Liberia, he dismissed him and he settled him, let him go. Now, but some people are saying that because he opposed the purchase or the deal of these machines, that's why he's being dismissed, or that's why he resigned. So whatever happened, whether he resigned or they dismissed him, but he's no more going to be finance minister. And they are also saying that there are two names that are popping up. The immediate assistance to this Kamara he's also one Kamara too, some kind of Kamara, and he's one of those being eyed or earmarked for this job, along with Augustin Ngafan, who works for the I think the United Nations. So if Kamara's dismissal comes actually from this deal, so it means that this deal is bad. This deal is not correct. That's why the finance minister refused to be a part of it. And the paper is also telling us that even when the people were parading, when all the ministers were around, going around behind these machines, the finance minister did not go there because he does not approve the deal. And that's why he did not go there. And that was his opposition to it. And that's why the executive got mad. They said, okay, mama, saying you know plenty. When we tell the Liberians on the show, you know plenty, huh? Okay, you got to resign because now you are interested. How about you keep laughing? What do you want to say?
Oh, well, the whole situation is running the yellow machine. The brother who spoke earlier, I forgot his name.
Francis?
Francis, right? Francis,
Yeah.
The whole thing, when a system is established, the word in political language, the word mistake can be used. Mistake can be used with national government or the tech. Okay? A system is established. The protocol of obtaining concessional agreement is looked into by the technocrats of government. They take it to the legal people, they take it to the legal committee of the legislature, and it is ratified. So this government of ours cannot bring those machines into that country without proper discussion and approval under no circumstance. So this is an introduction or the establishment of a system of no accountability This is dangerous. And let me say it again. The legislature, which is the first branch of the Liberian government, has the power over all the other branches. Okay? If it seems to fail the state, let me give you an example. Once we were in Illinois, Chicago carried the name. There was a governor here who wanted to sell a senatorial seat to the United States Congress. When people go to, he say, "You think I will give it up for free?" Don't sit down there. So the rumor was going around. What the legislature did, they called that governor, they called his attention, and they said, "Look, for the fact that you play with that seat, with that you utter the word that you will not give it up free." He said, "No, it's a son." Then you enter a 25-year imprisonment. So the legislature saw a fake. He was a lawyer. He wanted to go preach law, this and that. One legislator told him, say, "Okay, Councilor Dragojevic, we know that you are a lawyer, but the situation here is political. So you cannot look into the face of a new government coming into power. Legislators, everybody prepared. In a very legislature, you have 25 members who are direct opposition leaders from the opposition party, the outgoing party, 25 of them. Then you got 18 non-partisan or individuals. So you have to go by the democratic rule. You take something there, they oppose it, they are working for the Liberian people. The Liberian people elected them to represent them. So you can't dodge the lawmaker and say, because you will get 10 or legislators inside there, anything you carry there, they will step on it, so you will do any kind of thing in the country. No, we are leading. We are leading our country to a system that will be uncontrollable. So the issue here is not mistake. They trying like I was there during the how you call it, the war years, what they call the interim government or the government of inclusion. Everybody was fashionable. If you are the minister, you move to the ministry, you carry all your group of people there, and you get put down government salary. So this is why we're looking at that issue of yellow machine. 285 units of yellow machine is not a small thing, it's not small debt. It had to be discovered by the people's representatives. We had to know everything surrounding it before the president is ordered. And we find out minister order to make this disbursement. So it's not something that because you just want to do good, then you just bring it. It had to be stopped. They got the power. If the president is using the power, the legislature got a law also in the country. If they don't tell him to do what he can declare war.
I think Aaron, you are speaking from the universal democratic concept. But Liberia being the country we call it Liberia, and we being the people who sometimes Liberian men wear coats, even call it lapa, because it just the concept, the way we think, the way we do things, it's a bit different from what it should be. So that's a democratic process you're talking. But again, look at the legislature itself. These are people who reportedly do receive brown envelope from the executive. That alone is like selling your birthright. Okay, so they don't know. So I use a parable. When you elephant, you don't know your own weight until when you step on certain thing, that thing is stepping on will know that weight. And the legislature does not know its own weight as the first branch of government. Imagine the entire country, they gave you the whole country, they say make the law for this country here. And when you make that law, people are supposed to abide by the law. No man is above the law, not even the president himself, not even you, the lawmaker, because when you make this law, you feel that it's good to govern the country and the people, and it's good for everybody from down to up. So you make the law. But they do abide by the law themselves. They driving, they got some, they create something called tailing on their own to obstruct the other traffic. They can bulldoze anywhere. They can go anywhere and do anything. They say the lawmaker. So if you make a law, you break it. Who you expect to keep it? So the president, the executive, who should be abiding by the law himself or whatever, can break the law because he knows that the legislature itself is not abiding by that instrument. They get gun. You tell your children nobody should play with a gun yet, but you just say you get a gun, hold it, play with it in the house. So the children say, but they think our papa play with it. So why we can't play with it? Maybe it's not dangerous. See it? But so like about what you're saying is true. This is the executive, or the democratic, the pure democratic concept that you put into perspective. But it doesn't work like that in Liberia because why? The system is polluted, the system is compromised, and everybody else is compromised. But guys, I think we'll be leaving soon. I don't know whether it meets your consensus. So
yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else you want us to talk about, Paul, or anything. And there was something I was thinking about. It will come to my mind. But if there's anything, anybody.
Yeah, so something I want to talk about, and it's good Francis is on the program. There will be a July 26th in Germany. EFLA is hosting July 26th in Germany. And the way things are going in Liberia, the country that we all come from, we dearly love. What is happening in Liberia, I think when we're in Antwerp, we had that session went to that something came up about Liberians should be able to partake in the 2029 election. That means we must have our vote in whatever Liberians are in the diaspora. So, and I was watching a talk show the other day. Similar conversation came up that people are now pushing the agenda that we need to force the Liberian government and we need to start singing a song for us to have a say that instead of people spending thousands of dollars to go to Liberia to register, we must be able to do it in our location where we reside. So St. Francis is here. I just want you to update us a little bit on the July 26th something and that resolution that was passed in Antwerp. Any news on it? Because these are the conversations we need to start having.
Yeah, thank you. First, let me just touch on the July 26th celebration that is coming up in Wolfsburg, Germany. Liberians in Europe annually converge to commemorate Liberia's Independence Day in different countries around Europe, the major capital cities, major cities around Europe. And this year will be in Germany. This has been an annual event. It has been happening. And it runs from July 26th to the 28th. We will have an array of government officials and permanent citizens in Europe, Liberians in Europe, and for United States. Example like Lord Cholopre will be there. Mr. Linford Guel will also be there, and the rest of the people. And Amara Konneh will be the guest speaker. I just spoke with Senator Sir Joseph. He will be here as well if all goes well. So yeah, that's it for July 26th celebration. And on Friday will be the all-white event to celebrate our peaceful transition. After chaotic elections where there were violence and death. So we want to symbolize the coexistence and the peace that we look forward to. Yeah, and you are right, Paul, when you mentioned about the out of country voting. That's the name we are carrying right now, called out of country voting. EFLA has been the first to champion that cause through one of our partners called ARCOP, All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. We should have come up with a resolution from the consultative meeting of Liberian professionals and entrepreneurs in Antwerp, Belgium. As I speak to you, it's my understanding that the documents are being drafted. It's overdue, but has been drafted. And other people have their own personal things to do, so have been drafted and will be presented to Liberian government on or before the July 26th, when we even have the senators here.
Okay.
It will be published in the print media in Liberia as well. We have our partners. We are consulting with the leadership of EULA. We had a meeting the other day. The chairman of the board of directors of EFLA, Mr. Michael Jube Muller, had a chair that meeting. We had a lot of stakeholders from the states and around the world. We look forward to 2029, where Liberians outside of Liberia will be able to vote. Yeah, it requires a lot of groundwork and technology. We seeking sponsorship or partnership with our major partner sponsors, like USAID, the European Union. So we are just in the beginning stage of the whole thing, but hopefully, as soon as all the July 26 celebration events are over across, the Europe and America, and before and after the inauguration of the new leadership in the United States, EULA, in September, we will get on the ground running in full force to ensure that by 2029, Liberians in Europe will be, Liberian in the diaspora will be able to vote. Fast forward, there was a survey sent out from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The intent of that survey is to know the amount of Liberians in the diaspora, especially in the particular region. Overall, the aggregate number of Liberians residing in the diaspora, and the link will be shared with everybody. The intent is to know the numbers and how we can work towards reconciliation. That's what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says. So I think that I have summed up all the information that you want, that you asked me to do. Okay. And I turn it over to the host, Linfogwe.
Okay. Just to add a little bit to what Francis said, the bottom line Liberia is in contact with the chairman of the board of directors of EFLA. That's the European Federation of Liberian Associations, EFLA. Mr. Mike Muller. We are about to feature him on this program anytime. If not this Friday, it might be next Tuesday, or we've concluded discussions. It's just that he has some little business schedule. He got some visitors from the United States visiting him, so he's a bit busy, touring them. Geneva, Switzerland is a nice place, and in fact, Europe as a whole. So people want to see, or else he should have been on the program today. So, but he promised he will get back to me, and then we'll be hosting him, and he will tell us more about what Paul just talked and what Paul and Francis just talked about. That is Liberians in the diaspora participating in electoral process. See, America, if our democracy is styled and coined after that of the United States, then we should have all of these facilities that we can stay anywhere. The Americans do not need to travel to America to go vote. You got Americans fighting war all around the world. So time for a nation, they will not stop the war. They will not say, okay, war, our enemy or we are, they'll go vote. After voting, we'll come back and we'll start fighting again. No, they can stay right there and vote. So Liberians are all over the world working, some of them in service, active service everywhere. So they will not say, oh, my people, let the war we're doing stay, we're going to go vote for it, we'll come back. Some people will do it, but some of them cannot do it. And it's also economically, burdensome. So to cut down that burden, in as much as Liberians can sit abroad and send money to Liberia to support whatever cause they want to, in as much as politicians, political parties in Liberia can solicit money from Liberians in the diaspora, we should be able to have our voice. We should be able to be part of the voting process. It's our franchise. We should exercise it. So I think this is a good cause, and that EFLA is undertaking. And it takes me back, way back, or I think 2007 or 8 or 5, 6, somewhere between there, 4, 5, 6, when this dual citizenship started. And I remember when I signed this particular document, I signed it on a bed, on my friend's bed. He and I was sitting at Ward 3, and we argued about it as usual. Oh, my man, later when I work. But then when I saw the name, Emmanuel Weti and I were in Pastor teenage together, were in junior high school together, and we lived in the same community. In fact, we were neighbors. So I said, no, but if this is my friend, whose name is on this document as one of the founders, so I think I should be interested. That's how I signed it. We signed it right on my friend's computer, right on the bed. We're sitting there. I still remember. So it starts small like that. I know it's not easy to get it through, but it's a good initiative that EFLA is undertaking, and I'm also happy that EFLA was instrumental in the dual citizenship process. So I know we'll receive equal and reciprocal action from our colleagues in America, EULA, because they know that we all work together on these things in the interest of Liberians. So we hope we'll receive the needed assistance from them. Not even assistance, we're not begging them to, because they know it's in all of our interest. We just need our cooperation so that we all work together. And Mr. President is here, and I hope that I can't say he, because I'm the Secretary General, though, and we all can work together and see if we can push EULA leadership to be a part of that. So, like I said, we'll be hosting the chairman for the board of directors of EFLA here soon. I'm not too sure of the date yet. It could be coming Friday or next Tuesday. He promised me one of those 2 days. He said anytime that he feels that he's very, very chance and he got enough time, maybe we can do any time of the week. But just viewers, stay tuned. When we get ready, we'll put our flyer up and you'll be aware so that you can hear what we're talking about. We in the diaspora, we need to be a part of the electoral process. Now we need to say, oh, I support John Brown, I support Mary Paul, but we should be able to vote. Cast a vote online. It's possible it can happen in America, and other countries do it. So, any final word, guys, from each of you?
I want to say a final word.
Yeah.
Look, I know we all are Liberians struggling to have our nation one of the best on earth. And by nature of our society, we feel Liberia will be one of the best countries in the world. But what I want for us to do as Liberia in the diaspora, we need to meet frequently on common ground to discuss and then create some national workshop or symposium in Liberia where we discuss the running of our country. Don't leave anything out. How we see, how we perceive, or how we envision the agriculture sector of Liberia to be, the transportation, and all other aspects. So, at those symposia, we agree this is a way forward for our country. Then, no communications are made public. Then we watch the political parties that we see to buy those ideas so that if we are opportune to vote, from overseas, then we know what we're voting for. But if the changes are not made and it's just giving power to a political parties, we'll just be talking the same thing. In fact, if we don't fight very strong to go home and convince the ordinary people, some progressive law makers to take time with us, we may not even take part in the voting. Because some of them will say, oh, when you let a guy and vote, they will choose the president here. I remember talking to a deputy speaker of the House of Representatives who was a very young man. I purposely left Illinois to go to Atlanta, Georgia to meet that young man. When I finally met him, when I discussed with him the election of superintendent, he slapped me in the face. He said, oh, my man, if you let a man to take him from that wall, and my head cracked. I said, oh, Jesus. You want to tell me the young people all they do not understand when you have an elected superintendent, what it means for your country? I just want to stop there because we are still on, but the main thing I'm saying here, we have to have a common ground, how our country is supposed to run before we participate in our election. Other than that, we can vote.
And in that respect, I also want to recommend to you, and I'm making this recommendation from the background that I have served or I continue to serve Liberian organizations in the diaspora. In Norway, I served just last year we had our elections. I served as Secretary General of our group, our Liberian group here in Norway for complete 11 years straight in a row. So I know what I'm talking. And also, I want to urge you with that fine recommendation. I don't know how active you are as a member of the ULA, that's the Union of Liberian Associations in America, in the Americas. If you are now a member of ULA, I would recommend that you join ULA so that you can make those kind of recommendations there. Because those are the only forums where you have a bulk of Liberians coming and there where decisions are made, recommendations and decisions are made. So I'm just using my experience as a leader or people, somebody in the leadership of the Liberian group here in Europe and also in Norway to let you know how your point can be, put across with these kind of recommendations. So if you are not an active member of ULA, try to find, because they say Union of Liberian Associations in the Americas. So I'm sure in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, wherever you are, or you are in
Illinois, and I'm former vice president
yeah,
of the
you are
North.
in Illinois. So you can, if there is no Liberian organization in Illinois, you can try to put few people together, and you can form your group too and go under ULA. So that's my suggestion to you as well.
I'm a former vice president of the union.
Okay, so then you know what I'm talking about. So now, in fact, you know him better than I do. You're vice president, you're going to be president in Liberia, right? Because they say you get experience. Yeah, Paul, so you got something to say, Francis?
No, I just want to conclude, say, I think it's a good idea, and Francis, I mean, commend you for the effort you're making in EFLA, but this idea that was born in Actua, please, honor your stewardship. You should not run with this, like how they ran with the dual citizenship idea that was born right in Europe. So I'm begging you, you have to stand firm, because the guys in America are good at taking glory for everything, but it must be the European thing. I just want to close on that note.
Yeah, they are enormous, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, we are partners and we will work together, and so I wouldn't be.
Yeah, this is. I think
I'd be politically incorrect here to say that we're gonna challenge him. We are partners. We're gonna work together and
I think we need
our
a powerful
goals.
delegation from here there, comprising the
Yeah,
senator and the chair and the president.
yeah. Well, definitely, that we want to do that. So for the inauguration in September, we have to go there. and we'll meet up with them. There will be a high power delegation leaving from here. So meet up and discuss the issues of bilateral relations, with the leadership. But on that note, I want to thank you all for this day, for the also beautiful conversation. It was short and sweet. We look forward to see you guys on Friday. You guys have a very blessed week ahead, days ahead.
Thank you so much, Francis.
I saw something in the late morning hours on Facebook, even though unfortunately noted. His Excellency President Joseph Nyuma Boaga Sr. slashed his salary into 40%, meaning 40% of his salary will not be taken, will be back in the government cover. It will help with development. You will only take 60% of his salary.
About don't even waste our time on that thing. In the first place, ask yourself. In the first place, let's ask ourselves, how much the president making? Do we know? The lawmaker refuse to tell us their own salary.
They can tell us. The next time we meet, what does it mean? I commented there that it's not what we need. We need the salary of the legislator to go down. But however, I want for us to discuss it next time.
We can discuss that, but let's make our research to see how much the president make in the first place. Not what you see on the book, or what is actually his salary. So yeah, okay. I see Paul waving, and I see everybody waiting, and Francis. So, guys, we want to say thank you very much, our viewers, for watching, and we hope that you will be with us on Friday. In fact, we're not hoping, we ask that you be with us on Friday for a fresh edition of the program, The Bottom Line Library. My name is Linford Goa, and this is how we want to leave you on the show.